Okay, I am live. Hello, anybody that's here. Which probably looks like 0 people are here. Okay. This could be a fun stream. Let me open it up on my YouTube channel as well as StreamYard. But yeah, it looks like so far we have 0 people here. Of course, I accidentally put 9:15 instead of 9 to start, so that might be part of the problem. Oops, oops. Turn my sound off. Hey, Nona, how are you? I'm still trying to figure out this YouTube thing because on StreamYard, my picture looks sharp and clear. I turned the light up a little bit on the camera, but when I switch over to YouTube, I look all blurry. Dang it. But we shall go with it. Not much. Yeah, there's a total difference between how I look on StreamYard and how it looks on the YouTube. So, hope everybody that's here is having a good day. Tired, I'll be here for a little bit. Yeah, I'm cold. I don't know why. It's just I feel really cold tonight. But we shall see. I turned on the heaters about half an hour ago to try to warm up the house a little bit. I look like crap, but I usually do, so it's fine. Yeah, I know. That's just the way things are. It does look like on the YouTube I look a lot worse. Hi, Coral. But I think it's just, unless I spend hundreds of dollars on a camera, I think this is just how it's going to be. So, we might have a cameo guest tonight. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see what happens. I don't have the wolf quite done yet, so I'll probably have to do yet another stream. But I decided that I would rather, because it's turning out pretty good so far, and I don't want to wreck it by trying to hurry it. So I just decided to just do it is what it is. Gosh, my hair's like standing up all over the place. I'm still sulking about that dumb word, Coral. Okay, I must have missed something in another stream or something. So, I don't know what to say. We only have a couple people, and we'll have to kind of sit and wait for people to start showing up. Because right now it looks like we have Nona and Coral and Grasshopper, and that is it. Maybe we have a peek. No, I'm going to wait. It is turning out pretty good, though. I'm liking how it's turning out. The colors and stuff are really nice. And the hair looks really good, and the eyes look really good. So I just got to finish it. So we'll probably have to do a short stream tomorrow again. Once again. And as far as tonight, I'm hoping Blackie will be here pretty soon. If not, we'll just talk and do a few stories and see how it goes. And we might just have a short stream. We'll just see. Wait and see. I don't know how many other people are streaming right now. Let's see. My oldest daughter had like an opening at an art gallery today. She said it was pretty busy, so that's pretty cool. And it's just weird. My group with the messenger on Facebook, the group where I talk to Blackie and everybody that's on here, It's just acting weird today. I posted like a link and it ended up going like being posted on top of a comment from Blackie about something else. So I don't know. I don't know. Everything's just screwing up today. Yeah, I don't want to run out of StreamYard minutes. Well, if I did, I'd just have to pay, but I don't want to have to pay if I don't have to. But I should, hopefully I'll be okay. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see how it goes. We can get up to all kinds of mischief with this group. That is totally true. Totally true. So I'm kind of bouncing a little bit. It's because I'm cold, so I'm kind of shaking my legs because the house is cold for some reason. It's actually like 30 degrees outside, so that's fairly warm for here for this time of year, but I still feel cold tonight. I went all day without turning the heat. Gosh, my hair is just standing up all over. I went all day without turning my heaters up, but half an hour ago I went and turned them up because I was just cold. You just don't like a word I don't know that I'll have limited use for. For some reason, the reason is Wyoming. This is true. We're actually supposed to get snow either starting tonight or tomorrow, and it's supposed to snow until Sunday morning. Although we aren't supposed to get a whole lot of it. I think like 5 or 6 inches, something like that. So we'll just have to wait and see. So it is cold. It is cold. Today it got up in the 40s. I think 48, which is pretty warm, but I think tomorrow it's just supposed to be like around 20 or 30. I think we got 30 degrees for a couple of days. Yeah, we're going to get snow tomorrow. They moved it up. It was supposed to, oh no, there's still a little bit after 11 it could start snowing. And for sure it's supposed to start snowing by tomorrow morning. Yep, the next couple of days are in the 30s with lows in the 20s and teens. So, yeah, getting some snow. So, we only got a couple people in here. What do you want to talk about? Red Laser, hello. That must be the word that you were talking about. I have no idea what that means. Solipsism? I might have to look that up. Solipsism meaning the quality of being self-centered or selfish. Or philosophy, the view or theory that self is all that can be known to exist. I should try to remember that because I do know a couple people that would just like fit that word really well. Sometimes I use big words I don't fully understand. It makes me sound more solipsism. Yep. Oh, we need people in here. But like I say, I think I accidentally had the time set wrong to start, so that might be why. So what do you guys want to talk about? A self-centered person is well balanced. It depends. I like your fish red laser. That's really cool. Very pretty. Oh, I started to check and see if Blackie had sent me any messages and I forgot. I sent him the link. And it doesn't look like it. He has seen it though. This little icon thing is below it, so he did see it. So that's a good thing. $4.50 a gallon? That's really high. I'm not actually. I don't even know what it is here right now. I should check. But $4.50 still seems awfully high. Hi, Holly. How goes the world of Portland? Okay, let me see. What is gas in Laramie? Of course, it's always a little bit cheaper in Wyoming because we have a lot of gas plants and stuff going on here. Oh, goodness gracious. Current average in Laramie is $2.68 a gallon. So quite a bit cheaper than California. I'm cold though. Wyoming might have cheap gas, but it's cold here right now. Okay, if anybody has a subject they want to talk about, you can throw it up, or if you want to come up, there's a link pinned at the top. For regular, it's $4.30. Well, it's still cheaper than that in Laramie. And I didn't look at the premium price, but yeah. Okay, guys, you got to throw a subject at me. Starting to get a few people in here. Hopefully, Blackie will be coming in soon. Or if not, you guys will be stuck with me. Just talking. I do still have the buffalo for sale if anybody is interested in a buffalo. I think I'm going to quit trying to sell it here and like put it on my page. Oh, I got a cobweb. Put it on my page on Facebook and see if I can do a Facebook auction on it. But anyway, right now I still have it. Nearly there. Okay. How did I get my dog? The dog that I have now, Little Star. I just went and got her at the pound here in town after losing Buddy. I decided that I was really too old to try to train a big dog again, so I decided to just get a little dog for a companion, which she works pretty well for that. She's the smallest dog I've ever had. I haven't had very many small dogs in my lifetime. I usually get big dogs. But like I say, I'm getting up there in years and don't think I could handle a big dog very good. But the Pound here, I saw her advertised at the Pound. I kept checking their website and I saw her come up. And the awesome people here on YouTube helped me get her. She wasn't super expensive, but it's like $60 to get a dog from our Pound. Actually, it's like I think $40 plus $20. It's $60 altogether. Hey Andrew, where are you tonight? Andrew, you got to I need to talk to you sometime about coming up with me and talking about some, I'm sure you've got paranormal experiences on the road and stuff that I personally would love to hear about. Big dogs are the only real dogs. I did love my buddy, my German Shepherd. He was like the smartest dog, and yeah. But you know, as old as I am, I can't really, and puppies are always a lot to handle, and big dogs are even more to handle. So I just decided that I didn't need to get a big dog again. Andrew, Pam has a question for you. Yes, did you hear that? Did you hear my question, Andrew? Sometime I want to have you up here so we can talk about your paranormal experiences on the road and stuff, and if you've seen any cryptids and all that kind of stuff. Puppies are so cute, but training is a pain in the butt. And big dogs, when they're about a year and a half old and go through the chewing up everything in the house stage, are a pain in the butt. And but Buddy was like so well behaved. I really do miss him. I mean, you wouldn't even believe it if you saw half the stuff that he would do, like when we were traveling and I'd let him out to go to the bathroom. I never put a leash on him. I just like point to where I wanted him to go to the bathroom at, and he'd head right over and go there and then come running back again. He was such a good dog. Amy still has puppy breath. Aww. So I do miss him, but I love Star too. She's like 4.5 pounds of attitude. Yeah, we gotta talk. We gotta talk sometime, Andrew, about getting you up on here with me. Like sometime when you're gonna be like in one place for the time that I'm on, which shouldn't be that bad because I'm usually on at night. But it just depends on your driving schedule. But sometime that would be awesome. You're learning guitar just a little bit. That's awesome. Oh, Sandy, hi. Yeah, Buddy was an amazing dog. Like I say, I do miss him. Your pup is 5 to 5.5 pounds. Yeah, about the same size as Star is. She's like 4.5 pounds. Maybe 5 pounds on a real good day. But yeah, I kind of like I think it would be a lot of fun to talk to Andrew about any experiences he's had on the road. I know I've seen him mention it a few times, so I know that he's had paranormal experiences before. So that would be a lot of fun to get him up here to talk. Extraterrestrial highway. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Andrew. We need to get you up here one night. And Nevada does have extraterrestrial experiences for sure. And look who else is here tonight. Yay! Hi, beautiful. How are you?
Hello, I'm okay. What?
So is it hot there?
It's so hot, but I've come to hide in the room and turned on the air conditioning.
sensible.
It's cold here. I turned at Peter's about half an hour ago. So if you see me kind of like bouncing, it's because I'm like shaking my legs and stuff that you do when you're cold, you know.
It's hard not to be jealous of being cold because honestly, out there, I'm like dripping, literally dripping. Drips just like.
I can understand that because I hate heat. I mean, I think I would rather be cold than hot like that because I just do not handle heat very well. If you're cold, you can always like grab I mean, if I was like really cold right now, I would just go back and get a blanket off my bed or a quilt and wrap myself up in the quilt while I was sitting here. And then after like 15 minutes, I'd start to feel better. But you guys don't want to see me stripping my clothes off if I get too hot. It just would not be a nice thing at all.
Yeah, but the unfortunate thing is that once all your clothes are stripped off, there's not a lot else that you can do to cool down.
Exactly. Your clothes are stripped off and you're still like sweating bullets. It's like, that's just nasty. That's just nasty. Yeah. And I find it hard to breathe when it's really hot like that. It's like...
Yes, it's rainy and that doesn't make it any cooler. It's still as muggy as grossness.
Yeah, well, that's what else, because it's been not only so hot, but we've had like 92% humidity, and I can't remember, but I think the dew point of like 23 degrees, which is, you know, it means that there is a lot of moisture in there.
Yeah.
And you can't cool off. It's so thick. You swim through it.
We've got snow coming this weekend.
Ooh.
Jealous.
I think like 5 inches. They're saying like 5 or 6 inches, I think. But it's supposed to start snowing sometime between like 11 o'clock tonight or in the morning, and then it's not supposed to stop until sometime Sunday. So yeah.
I mean, it's so hard because living somewhere where it never snows and it does get very hot. I just imagine how fun snow would be, and I know that as in a reality, it's probably not that fun when it happens all the time.
You got to get out and shovel it, or like right now, it's like I can't open my front door all the way open because there's a pile of snow there that's like turned hard as a rock. So it's like a doorstop. So I've got to kind of go sideways out the door when I open it. Oh, wow. It's trying to snow in Salt Lake City, Utah. Yeah, it's supposed to snow here either starting tonight or in the morning and then go through Sunday sometime. So, yeah. And the
Does Utah generally get snow?
Huh?
Does Utah generally get snow?
I'm not sure how high Salt Lake City is. A lot of Utah is like more desert and doesn't get that much snow. But I think if I remember right, I think Salt Lake City is sitting fairly high up, so they might get occasional snow.
Yeah, right. And g'day, Andrew, by the way, and everyone else in the chat.
But then you never know, because like when I lived in Southern California, which is notoriously hot and no difference in the seasons, it's like summer is well, like winter is hot and summer is hotter with very little rainfall or moisture of any kind. And when I was living there one time, it snowed in Watts. Watts is a bad area in Los Angeles. It didn't snow. It hailed. But it hailed so much that when they were showing pictures of it, it looked like there was like 5 or 6 inches of snow, but it was actually 5 or 6 inches of hail.
I've had that before, like south of Sydney in the Blue Mountains, but I was quite young, and I truly thought that it was snow and was really excited. But
there used to be a big picture that hung up behind the bar at the Bruns pub, and it was the Bruns pub covered in snow, but yeah, it was the roof covered in hailstones. but it
Yeah,
looked like
that's the way it was in Watts. Like all the cars, everything. It just was. There was so much hail. It looked like it had snowed. And then one time, the Grapevine is a famous mountain pass where you drop off the mountains and into the Los Angeles area. And it used to be really bad and windy and everything, you know. So like, I know my dad, when he was driving truck there one time, he was driving a sleeper. I just remember him telling me that he lost his brakes coming down the Grapevine. And when he got down to the bottom, his partner climbed out of the sleeper and asked him why he didn't wake him up. And my dad told him, why? You would have fucking died if I would have lost control anyway, wherever you were at. So I just thought I'd leave you alone. But now I-5 drops off the Grapevine and it's not as bad as it used to be, like a real windy highway, and now it's like a freeway going down. But I remember this is what started me on the subject. One time when I lived there, the Grapevine had like a 1/4 inch of snow and they fucking shut it down because Californians are not used to driving in the snow. So I thought it was funny because I moved there from Washington where we had a lot of snow. But things are a lot, we were talking a little bit about global warming and stuff last night. And like I complain about Wyoming being cold and stuff, but it's not anywhere near the way it used to be. Hi, Joe. Like I say, when I first started living here, I'd see -40, -50 fairly frequently in the winter times. And there was a time I think it was about 15 years ago, that we got a really bad snowstorm here. And it was, it actually buried houses. Like the snow was deeper than houses' roofs.
Shit.
To where the houses were like buried, like totally covered with snow. Not just like snow piled up on the roof, but totally covered with snow. And
That's big
right
snow.
after I moved to Montana, there was a snowstorm that hit Wyoming and South Dakota. And it was so bad that a lot of wildlife was killed, a lot of deer and antelope and stuff, because they literally got buried in the snow and froze to death. And a lot of cattle and stuff died, but they were like, as soon as the weather cleared a little bit, they had like planes up in the air dropping like bales of hay to herds of cattle and stuff. So yeah, it used to get a lot worse than it does now. So I shouldn't be complaining. But you know me, I like to complain. So, and in Wyoming, one of the best things to complain about is weather. So Sarah, do you have some new work to show us?
I've been mostly working on some really big pieces, which I don't have here. I was just sitting and doing some drawings. I've got a little one here.
Oh, cute. Let me blow you up. Hold on.
But yeah, I didn't bring my massive ones in.
That one is really cute.
Get them.
That is really cute. I like that.
Actually,
Cool.
to show. And I've been working on this one as well.
Oh, that one looks done to me. Oh, crap. Instead of blowing her up, I took her down. Okay, show us again bigger. Yes, that one looks done to me. I think you could just walk off and leave it right now, and it's awesome.
Well, I feel like I'm in the middle. I'm going to keep on going. But we'll see. Sometimes that's a mistake, right? You keep on going when you should walk away. But yeah, I have been working on some really big pieces.
Like how big?
The paper, I think, is 80 by 60 centimeters. So what's that, Mikey?
2 foot by 2 foot 8 ish.
Wow, that's big.
I can go and get some of the ones that I've been doing. I have one that's finished.
Yeah,
think-
go on. Let's see a finished big one.
I'll be back.
Okay.
We'll see. No, I'm going to leave my headphones in. I hope that they are happy with that.
See, Andrew knows that I don't exaggerate. He drives truck, and he says it gets really bad out there by Little America, Wyoming, Cheyenne, and Laramie, which is where I live, to Rock Springs, which is the next town to the west, and Rollins, etc. Yeah, it gets really bad, and they close the freeway. And the freeway is the only, I mean, when they close the freeway, we're pretty well shut off. There's no other way to get in or out. And
Is
there's a lot of times in the winter that, like, we won't have any mail in or out for like a week at a time because the freeway's closed and they aren't letting the trucks through.
is Little America the name of a town, or is that what that area is known as?
No, Little America is the name of a big truck stop that's in Cheyenne.
Ah, gotcha. Right.
Oh, wow. Big.
Mm.
Yes. So I think this is the one that is
G'day, Rich.
the finished one.
Hi, Rich.
If I can make him stand up.
Oh, that's going to be cool, Sarah. Awesome. Do you have a showing coming up or something that you're doing the big ones for?
No, one of them I am putting into something, but I'm not quite sure what. There's a few different possibilities, and I'm not sort of sure where I'm going. But one of them, not this one, I planned to send. To a show.
Nice.
Yeah. And yeah, I'll just show these other ones too that I've sort of started on. So let me see.
Oh, that's cool.
Very.
Very cool.
But there's a long way to go.
I think I had a nightmare like that one time.
Yeah. I hear that so often. I must be like popped into everybody's nightmares.
That looks like a bug.
Must be a mammalian bug because it's got a boob.
A giant boob.
Leave it to Blackie to notice that too.
My boob is always on point.
So what else you got going on, Sarah?
Not a lot.
How's your job going?
Yeah, it's boring. Yeah, I'm trying to, there's been a bit of this period of just, sort of, I don't know, maybe recalibration after, working so much towards the expo, and then, and then it's been the sort of Christmas, summer, kids have been home, and there's been a few things, going on with them as well. And so, yeah, I've just kind of been trying to get back on top of living a little bit. Like, over the time of preparing for the expo, I basically didn't do any of the jobs in my house that needed doing. And now with the weather, it's really hard to do anything, but also everything's kind of gets moldy and sticky and dirty because it's so humid all the time. So I'm just kind of, really, there's lots of really boring stuff like that. going on, and I'm just trying to sort of work out, what my next big sort of goal to hit is, I guess, and doing some art. My drawing classes aren't back yet, so where I get to go and draw live models, which I really
Yeah.
love and miss. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. I can imagine. They kind of quit when it gets really hot, huh?
Well, I think they just take. It's the only time that they take a break all year is from just before Christmas until usually about this time, but I haven't heard from them about when they're coming back on. So we'll just see.
Yeah, I wish I had a place here I could go do live drawing. That would be so much fun. But you
It's
know,
awesome.
it's Wyoming, so you know,
It's
Wyoming
actually quite.
Wyoming probably has laws against nude drawings or nude posing. Knowing Wyoming.
Oh no. Yeah, well, there's lots of life drawing kind of things around, I guess, here. Certainly everyone's quite free spirited, I suppose, in this part of the world. But the one that I go to is especially special because it's not a class. It's not tutored. They're not trying to teach you how to draw anatomy or anything. It's very different to other kind of life drawing classes. But I've considered there's one that I really want to go to. I was trying to rope Mikey into coming of a Tuesday night. And it's like a burlesque and life drawing show.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be cool.
Go and draw and yeah. But yeah. I think that would be fun. I'm not quite sure, you know, if they do like, because they must do some still poses and stuff, but it's some sort of mix of the burlesque and the life drawing. So
That
Is
would
that
be
the
fun. That
bronze
would be a
picture
lot of
house?
fun.
I think so. What was that?
Is that at Brun's Picture House? Yeah, they seem to have lots of fun stuff on at that place.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I think that this is, I don't know if you remember about, so they used to have something called Dr. Sketchies in Byron. That was the same thing, the burlesque and life drawing.
Yeah,
And then the Dr. Sketchies, whoever was running it, like took it to the city and then was doing it there, and then they stopped doing the classes or the shows here. And I have a feeling that this is like that, or it's like they're trying to revive that thing of the Dr. Sketchies, even though it's called Sketch Appeal.
Mm.
But yeah. Well, I haven't been to anything there.
No, nor have I,
They
actually.
opened it up. It used to be a toy shop when I was little, and then they made like a school there. And yeah, I was kind of excited when they turned it into something because it's a funky little place. But then I never went. That's probably because like I never go to things. I just stay at home and draw or go to work. Go to the creek with my kids. It's exciting life.
Well, it sounds like you have choices there. Like I say, Wyoming's kind of like Wyoming is very redneck. Very redneck state.
That's why you fit in so well.
Yeah.
That's why I never leave the house. It's rather dangerous for me when I leave the house.
Yeah, I can't imagine. We're very lucky where we live here, but having grown up in this kind of, you know, in this place, and every time I go anywhere else, it's like, yeah, I can't imagine living somewhere that's not as kind of free, I guess, as it is here. Even though people, like, as time's going on, and I think the internet and social media doesn't help people being like more and more judgy of other people
Yeah.
and stuff. But
I grew up in around Portland, Oregon, which is pretty liberal. And I'd say Wyoming is extremely not liberal. Extremely so. But it is what it is.
If you don't experience the light, you don't know what the dark's like.
That's right. That's right. My oldest daughter had a opening for like an art show today, and I guess it went pretty well, so that's cool. But she lives in the Portland area, so.
Back in a tick.
So what else you got going on in life right now?
yeah, not a lot. Not a great deal. Everything's quiet, and I just try and have enough time to do everything. I never have enough time for everything. I have a bunch of sort of creative projects. I've been trying to work on some. So another thing that I do is I make like staffs and wands out of sticks that I find. So I've been trying to get a little bit back into that, which has been fun, finding sticks, and I kind of carve them a bit, and end up polishing them up and putting stones and things in them and making them pretty. So it's kind of nice because it ties in with spending time in nature. I'm going out and looking for crystals, looking for sticks, and pulling that stuff together, which has been really nice. And I've been playing quite a bit of flute, but not like a Native American flute, not like a proper flute,
like a handmade flute type of thing.
Yeah,
that sounds awesome.
And it's been really nice. And but I haven't been doing a lot of singing stuff. So instead, I've just been pulling out the flute and playing to the cicadas because it's so hot. So there's always like this chorus of cicadas, and then I come out and play them my flute music. And and I've been doing lots of gardening, and it's kind of been depressing me because the soil here there's something wrong with it. And I don't know how to fix it because I've always gardened, but I've always just been lucky to live somewhere with good soil. So basically all I ever have to do is sort of clear an area, plant stuff, lay some mulch. I can, feed it some seaweed or something, and everything usually grows. And I've, at first here, I put it down to, we had some really cold weather, below zero. So I was like, well, that's why nothing's growing. And then it was really dry. So I was like, well, nothing's growing because there's no water for anything to grow with. And then it's been raining and warm. And then I noticed that still everything that goes in the ground isn't thriving.
So what kind of soil is it? Is it like heavy clay or too much sand or too much clay or?
Well, the thing is, I'm not sure because it looks kind of okay. So I'm thinking it might be like overly acid or alkaline or something. Maybe I need a test kit because I've been putting bags and bags of cow manure, chicken manure, pea straw. I keep feeding it and trying to build it up, and it's still just not really going. But I have had a little bit of success because there's a couple of beds that are like raised beds that I
Yeah.
brought from my old house. And ever since I got here, I've been slowly, adding straw and poo and everything and trying to build them up. And they finally were like full enough. I was like, and they'd had long enough to be breaking down. And so I planted some things in there, just like tomatoes and cucumbers and basil, I think, and they're not very big. But those plants are going off and they're really happy. And so, and then like right next to it, where I've still been feeding the soil, all of that stuff, but it's sort of more mixed in with the soil that's here, everything's just kind of slow and stunted. So, yeah, I'm not sure what it is. I do think I need to maybe do some testing or something. It's just, like I said, I've always gardened, but I guess I don't actually know about how to really fix big problems because I've always just been lucky enough.
Yeah. Well, usually either kind of soil, either way it goes, like adding compost and stuff like that and working it in should improve it either way. Was the garden there already when you moved in, or?
There was areas for the garden, but not really. One of the spots was just full of weeds. Another one was just clear, but it was like cleared out and had, the ring of stones around it that it had been made into a bed. And it had a silver beet growing in it, and that silver beet's still growing. But everything else that I planted in there, I planted beans and peas and parsley and eggplant in that one, capsicums. I'm trying to think because I tried to plant lots of things in there and everything just kind of stunted and doesn't take off.
I'm wondering if they over gardened it without replenishing the soil. If that might be.
Well, maybe it might just take a bit longer of me feeding it. It's just I feel like I've been feeding it.
Built back up again. They might have just. It's a possibility they over gardened it without replenishing it or giving it a chance to recuperate. So it's just kind of stripped all the nutrients and everything out of the soil.
Yeah, it's really disappointing though. When you put a lot of effort in and you're planting things and you get really excited and then it doesn't grow. And I've always had good productive gardens before, and at the very least, besides just veggies, I mean, there have been times when I've grown enough veggies that I haven't bought vegetables anywhere else. I've just been able to feed us from the veggies that I grow. But at the very least, I've always had, enough stuff that the kids snack on, veggies and stuff that are growing, and that I can grow lots and lots of herbs, where I can pick bunches of herbs and bring them in to smell good in the house and all that sort of thing.
I always used to have big gardens and little herb garden sections and stuff, and huge flower beds around the houses that I lived in and stuff. I like that. I like that kind of stuff. The only problem I ever had that was major was this one house I was renting. Had a big gravel driveway, and I had the garden off to one side, and then I had about 8 feet or a huge amount of space that had flowers in front of the house. And the landlord decided that he was going to take Roundup and spray the weeds in the driveway.
Oh, no.
And he sprayed too much. And I watched my flower bed just die as it moved towards the house, and it went all the way up to the house and killed everything. And Roundup is really nasty stuff, and it 4 years later, all that dirt was still dead. I couldn't grow any. The only thing that stayed alive in it that I had was irises, because irises can be pretty tough.
I wonder if that couldn't have happened here, because what they have here is like it's like they've got a pebble area like all around the house, and all the gardens are just like off to the side, and they're just like pretty empty. I wonder if they didn't poison everything to make those pebbled areas be.
They might have, because that's what my landlord did, is he was spraying for the weeds that were coming up in the gravel, but he, like say, he used too much, and it just, over like a 2-week time period, I watched everything just slowly die, you know, as it moved further and further along.
Oh, that'd be so depressing. So how long did it take for the Roundup to not be affecting the soil anymore, or for the soil to come back?
I kept, like, every year I kept adding straw and stuff to it and trying to rototill it in and get the soil back up again, but it was like 3 to 4 years before anything would grow in that area again, which just killed me, because I had just this wonderful flower bed there. I mean, it was like a lot of perennials and stuff. Yeah, it just kind of made me sick, but what can you do?
Yeah,
it not only killed everything, but it wouldn't grow anything after that either.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was bad stuff. Bad stuff. I had these it just struck me, and I've told the story in here before, so I won't tell it again, but I used to have when I lived in Montana, my one daughter was living with this guy, and his parents were really, they were different. I'll just say that. Like, they could live at Walmart and you wouldn't have noticed them at all. But they got a new house and they were moving in, and Courtney told me, she says, well, if you want some perennial plants, she's getting rid of a bunch of them. So I said, sure, I'll go over there and get some. So what they were doing is, this house that they were moving into had beautiful gardens all the way around the house, beautiful flower beds with a lot of perennial plants and stuff. And the backyard was like totally surrounded by lilacs and then all kinds of perennials. And she pulled up all the perennial plants, all the flowers, and put black plastic with gravel down, and then plastic flowers stuck in it every here and there. It was really sad. It really made me sad.
That's terrible.
Yeah. I mean, it just had all this beautiful, beautiful flower beds with all kinds of perennial plants and stuff. And she just like tore everything out and put in gravel with plastic flowers stuck every few feet in it. I mean, who does that?
You know, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, obviously, black plastic down is a terrible decision no matter which way you go, because it's going to affect your soil. But if you already have beautiful plants,
beautiful flowers, and pull them up so that you can stick plastic flowers in the ground, it's like, oh my God, Oh, it was pretty sad.
Yeah.
I think we lost Blackie. No, he had to answer the door. He'll be back. He probably got company of some kind.
Oh, that doorbell isn't actually a doorbell. It's because he cares for his elderly parents, and that bell is them ringing to say that they need something.
Oh yeah, so, yep, that makes sense.
So he's just going to help them out with whatever it is that they needed him for, and that's why it can take him a while to come back.
Totally makes sense. Yep. Yep.
But he usually comes back unless, we disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm catching up on the chat here real quick. They're talking about Texas and paranormal stuff.
Yeah.
Sarah, what is a whippersnapper? Whippersnipper.
A whippersnapper?
Yeah.
So a whippersnapper is the kind of tool that you use to cut the grass and the weeds. It has an engine and a shaft, and then a little spinning bit with a cord to cut your weeds and your grass.
Oh, sounds like a weed eater. What we call a weed eater.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, Huawei's going to go through that every bloody live stream, isn't he?
Ask him what a whippersnapper is.
Mm. I think he just likes to hear it said in an Australian accent.
I'm very fond of a good whippersnapper. Actually, I haven't done it for a while because my son has sort of taken over the whipping and the snipping.
Whipping and the snipping.
Yeah. And that's nice. It's nice that he does it and takes care of things. But I actually like doing yard work like that and like mowing. There's something really satisfying about doing the mowing.
It's because your results are instant.
Yeah, well, you can see as you go along, you get to watch your progress. Yes, it's very satisfying.
Yep, we call them weed whackers.
And we've got brush cutters as well, but they're a slightly different tool.
It's very similar. It's just they have a blade instead of a cord.
Yes.
Like a machete?
Well,
no, like a saw blade that spins around in a circle.
Oh.
Get all sorts of different blades that go on them. And if you get a fancy whippersnapper, it'll have a detachable head so you can take off the string one and put a brush cutter head on it.
Huh. Sounds rather dangerous.
It's going to tackle much, thicker.
Stemmier things.
Like legs?
Yeah.
I'm sure they work wonders on legs.
Pam is going to enslave me for snow duty. I won't wear a thong. You won't wear a thong out in the snow, Andrew? What kind of garbage is that? I have never seen them with hard metal teeth instead of flexible twine, but I would imagine they're fairly dangerous. It seems to me.
Yeah. I guess it's what you come, what you're coming at. I've got my English all mixed up in my brain. But really, I feel like the main thing that's dangerous, unless you were actually trying to attack someone with it, is that it flings stuff. So last time, say, my boy was doing the whippersnipping around the house, and we were getting slammed with just tiny rocks out of, like I said, we've got that kind of gravelly pebble area around the house. I was just waiting for a window to smash. At one point, I was in the kitchen, and he was way over doing the garden over this bit, and a rock came in and hit me in the leg through the door. So it's dangerous to your eyes. And
Hey, Moose.
G'day, Moose. Yeah, I consider it a fun game when the lawnmower man's here doing the whippersnipping, and I sit at my table and count how many things I get hit by that he's flinging across the air, and then try and beat my record the next time he comes.
Well, I was amazed. Like the whole deck was covered in gravel after this one thing that got done. And yeah, like I said, I think we're just so lucky that none of the stones hit the window. Because we would have had smashed window for sure if it had a.
Yep. When you were talking about that, I remember, and this is like totally different, but we had years ago, we had a tree fall down in the yard. So, and it was a big tree. And so we just started, we had a big fireplace, so we would just go out and cut the big limbs off of it and, got it down to where we could use a chainsaw to cut up the main trunk. But we'd go out like for a little while and cut limbs off of it, but it was so cold that the wood of the axe would shrink up and then the head would come off after a while. So you had to like take the axe in the house to warm it up again. Hey, Daniel. But I remember one time I chopped this limb off, and I still remember that, that sound that it makes as it's rolling, it goes, I hear this, and then it hit me right there. It's like, damn it.
Could you like soak the axe in water to not only swell up the wood, but then when you go outside, the water that's in the wood would freeze, which is going to expand and help keep the head on?
It might, yeah. I don't know. I just know that like I'd have to keep taking it in the house because after a while it was like really, really cold that winter, and after a while it would just, the head would start coming off and I'd have to take it back in the house to warm up again. So the head would stay on the axe.
See you, Rich. Thanks for hanging out.
Hi, Mooney. And we'll see you later, Rich. And hello, Daniel. Yeah, I just said hi, Mooney, which is Kimberly. Yep, Woody's shrink in colder weather. That's for sure.
That's when you've got to keep hammering your shim into the top of the axe handle.
Yeah.
To spread it, and then every few chops you've got to either jam it back in or put another one in.
I just got hunger pains. I haven't eaten yet today.
How late is it?
It's 10:06 here. 10:06 p.m. Sometimes I forget to eat, and then I'll realize that I haven't eaten yet when I start getting like hungry. Oh, you're stuck at Salt Lake City while your truck gets worked on? That kind of sucks. There's a lot of places I would rather be than Salt Lake City, Utah.
Laramie, Wyoming.
That wouldn't be high on my list if I had my choices, but
I'm afraid I don't know much about the different areas in the US and what they're like.
Yeah, Salt Lake City is famous for being Mormon country.
Okay.
And I think it's been so many years since I've been there, and Andrew can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's like high desert type of area.
Is there a salt lake?
Probably. I'm not really sure.
It's near a salt lake.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on.
I thought you had your own truck, Andrew. Mormons, yep.
I wanted to show you this one, Pam, because it's the one that you like, but it got an edit. And so this is a print. But,
And you added color and stuff.
yeah.
And I do like that drawing a lot.
Sadly, it's in the plastic, so it keeps on getting shiny. But yeah, I wanted to show you it because
That is awesome. I like that.
Have you potentially considered selling prints while you're on a live stream?
well, I don't think anyone will want to buy these ones because they're big. Actually, it's probably the same, even the small ones, because then it's shipping. I've got some. I brought them with me, but probably yeah, because they're not like the little mini size. They'll be like big, so they need postage and stuff.
So they cost more to ship.
Yeah.
Well, you can show us anyway so we can see them.
The other prints, they might not all be as exciting as that because most of them will look like pictures that people recognize. Like Sam will probably recognize this one.
Yep. That's awesome.
And I've got this one. I forget who bought this one.
Now, do you print them out in color, or do you print them all in black and white and then color them?
Okay, so that's a good question because so this is printed in color, and that's how it was. But I did one. I'm gonna try and find it. I've only got one left after the expo, and it was a black and white skull stack, but I hand painted each one of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, this one is hand painted. So they're like kind of a print, but they're also one of a kind because all the colors are different on them. Yeah, I feel like the color doesn't show up quite as well on there, but I guess that's to be expected. But yeah, so these are the only ones. The skull stacks are the only ones that I hand colored, but a lot of them are, I don't know, some of them are hand signed and some of them are not. Like I can show through, but like I said, they're all like ones that people will have seen on here already. It's just my little stack that's left.
Kimberly says to get a hold of her because she could sell a lot of those at the reptile expos things.
Yes, and I was supposed to be getting a whole bunch of stuff together to send to her already, and then I didn't. But you know, if that's still a thing, I really should. I can be really I can like lose track of time and myself a little bit, but yeah, because the prints too are something I can do. And what I found going to the expo, like I sold original work, but people love being able to buy a print because it's pretty inexpensive.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I sold a lot of prints. And, you know, it's something that I can do. Like all these ones that I've got here, I've got the files all prepped for. So it's very quick for me to just.
That one's awesome too. I love that one.
Yeah, that's the only one I think I've got left of this one. I also love it, but the original, I was like hanging on to, didn't want to sell because it had been going to go up in an exhibition that got the one that got shut down from COVID. And then I was like, oh, I think I'll keep it. And I had it sitting around. And then I think I told the story about my mum came to my house and decided to be really helpful and clean the windows. And she like cleaned the screens from the outside. And what happened is I had like this big setup of desks inside with all my work laid out on it. And it all got splattered with mud.
Oh my God. Oh.
And this was one of the ones that the original, like I've still got it, and I'm like, oh, I should just frame it up for myself anyway. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, but the original, like I have it, but it is got mud splatters. But luckily, I had scanned it before that, so I'm able to make prints.
Oh, thank God for that at least, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. I was so devastated. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've got
Says, especially as they are imported, please PM me or just call me. I think Blackie has my number.
I don't think.
Right. I'm sure that I have your email because I think we were emailing before and I was going to get a whole bunch of like these little mini originals to send to you, and then I can't remember how it happened. If something went, it was either like something came up, I didn't get on top of it, and I didn't end up following through with it, even though I really wanted to. So hopefully I can maybe send an email, and then yeah, because like a package shouldn't be too much with a bunch of these prints in, and that's really, you know, like I said, doing the prints is easy. Originals are like, it's like a kind of magic. Will it happen or will it not happen? Oh, can I show this one? Hang on. Wait. Sorry. Just for fun, because I have this one.
Yeah.
But then I had like a couple of bits of paper at the end of my printing, getting ready, and I decided to do some printing in reverse. So even though it used a lot of
ink, I like that. I like that a lot.
It's very cool. It's just that they'll end up costing me like a lot more ink to get them printed this way. But
because that was you're saying because that was a white piece of paper and it had to print all that black, yeah?
Yeah. And the ink is quite expensive because this printer is so that makes proper archival giclée prints. So, you know, the ink is quite expensive.
Yeah, I'll bet.
To get, but because it was like the last couple of bits of paper, and I was like, well, I have enough ink, I have enough paper. I'm going to do some of those reverse ones.
Oops. Sorry.
So, yeah. And I've got more paper coming because even though I have these prints, there's a whole lot of ones that sold out that I wanted to reprint anyway.
So do you have any more trouble with people with their shirts or just that one?
Just the one.
Oh, good.
And
It was probably one that your mom just missed ironing, I'll bet you.
I think so too. So what I did, I redrew that shirt and I just posted it to her, and she tried to insist that she will pay for it, but I was like, it's the only shirt that's stuffed out. I would much rather have people be happy. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
But to be honest, I'm like kind of nervous for like whenever she washes that shirt for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely spent plenty of time setting the ink on it. So with any luck, she will be happy.
Well, I'm glad
And it
nobody
will
else had that problem. So it was probably definitely that shirt just got missed.
Yeah.
And I can guarantee that that girl's going to take extra special care whenever she washes the new one.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially because she was so insistent that it was her fault that it had like gotten wrecked, that the picture had washed off it. Because she didn't follow the instructions that we gave.
G'day,
But-
Brian, you druggo.
What a lovely greeting.
He's Brian Griffin. He's a famous druggo.
Yeah.
Known around the world for his inappropriate use of substances. Says the guy smoking a spliff.
Yeah. Yeah.
On an empty stomach.
A spliff on an empty stomach.
Yeah. It's dangerous behaviour to engage upon.
Why?
Because, you know, makes the marijuana smoke that gets into your stomach act much faster. That's how smoking works, right?
Probably.
Absorbed through the lining of your stomach wall. But yeah, my guts have been wrong today, so I haven't felt like eating, as erroneous as that could be.
Well, see, I think that smoking on an empty stomach is, well, whenever my guts are wrong, I find that it's very helpful to my gut. But also, if I haven't eaten all day and I have a smoke, it makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah, that's the main reason why I rolled a spliff, was because of my belly.
I got to show you guys my daughter's Halloween outfit one year. You should recognize it. Should recognize it, what she did
Okay.
here. Let's see who can get it first.
Meg.
Yep.
Very cute.
That's funny you would put that up there, because it was only just before the stream I saw on Twitter a picture of a girl dressed as Meg Griffin as well.
Yeah, that was her Halloween outfit that year. And it worked pretty well. She said when she wore it to school, she was like in high school, and when she wore it to school, she said she was walking down the hall and everybody was like yelling, "Hi, Meg," at her. Or "Shut up, Meg." They were yelling, "Shut up."
Yeah, I was going to say they should have been doing nasty comments at her.
Shut up, Meg. I just ate a THC brownie. Oh my God. When I was like about 19, I used to make brownies with extra ingredients in them. And they turned out pretty well, but the thing with brownies, if you make a big batch of brownies like that, and you eat a couple of them, then you get the munchies, and there's a big tray of brownies sitting in front of you. You know?
A vicious circle.
It's like after a bit, you're like deeply engrossed in your shoelaces.
Yeah. Sorry, there's my dog sniffing at me. But yeah, I've made a few good brownies. Or actually, the best one wasn't actually brownies. We were like out in the bush, and we tried to make something. We had like pastry mix, Milo, and honey, and we made a cake, a herbal cake, and it was decidedly foul but incredibly powerful.
Cat, hello.
Hey, Cat.
I hope you're feeling okay, Cat. I'm glad to see you stop by.
Yeah, I think the sensible thing when making pot brownies is to make a loaded batch at the same time as an unloaded batch and then distinctly separate them for those moments afterwards where you want to eat more brownies. You've got safe ones.
That would make sense. I never thought of that, though. Like I say, I would always just make a big tray of brownies and then...
Yeah, you were too high at the time to think sensibly.
Yeah, and then, like I say, then you eat a few of them and you get this, you're incredibly hungry and there's a tray of brownies sitting there. So, yeah.
Temp delicious.
All the ones I've made before are so potent that actually even the munchies are a faraway thought.
Mm.
A few times I have done it, it's been, a really big event. Oh my gosh. My son has brought the dog in here, and my other son fed her some gross food last night. She's been farting all day, and he's brought her in here, and now she's farted in my room. I'm going to go kick her out. No, you have to get up. Because you stink yourself. Go. She farted in my room.
An earthquake is hitting? Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow. That's another bloody strange coincidence because I was listening to a podcast earlier today, the Sloppy Boys, and while they were recording their podcast a couple of days ago, an earthquake hit California somewhere.
He's in northern Oklahoma. Huh. I felt a few earthquakes when I was growing up in Oregon, but not very many. Not really super bad ones.
Go on to your earthquake app, Brian, and tell us it's Richter scale. I think the dudes on the Sloppy Boys said the one in California was 4.5, but it didn't last very long.
He says it's calmed down now.
I was reading an interesting article when I first came on stream. People may have noticed my attention was at my telephone, but about this thing called lorikeet paralysis syndrome, where lots and lots of rainbow lorikeets are falling out of the sky completely paralyzed, and hundreds at a time are being taken to vets and whatnot.
Really?
And they can't. They've got scientists all over the place doing blood work and autopsies and stuff, and they still can't work out what's causing it.
When I lived on Cape Cod, there was one day when a bunch of starlings fell out of town, or fell out of the sky in the middle of town, like just dead on the ground. And everybody was like in a total panic about it. But so they had to figure out quick what happened. What happened to them is it was just too damn cold. They flew up in the sky and it was too cold, and they froze and fell.
Yeah, you're right. Because they're one of the birds that go in massive, big flocks flying around.
Yeah.
Doing acrobatics all over the place in one spot. That'd be pretty interesting to see one of those just all drop.
Grasshopper, which is a good question. Is it only with the lorikeets?
It's the only, in the article that I'm reading, it's the only species that they're talking about.
I saw it too, just lorikeets.
Yeah, there are other lorikeets certainly that have the same diet and stuff and hang around with the rainbow lorikeets. But yeah, the apart from when they say lorikeet paralysis syndrome, the only specific species they mention is the rainbow lorikeets, which are a very pretty bird, but they're as annoying as fuck.
Okay, Mooney, thanks for stopping by.
There you go. Did you write that down, Scungy? Mooney's popped her email into the chat there.
Oh.
Or copy and paste it is probably the sensiblest.
I think I have it in mine anyway, but I can write that down. Hang on. My screen is little. But I'm pretty sure I've got it.
It must be quite a strange experience for an animal flying so high in the sky to all of a sudden just lose all of its movement faculties and just drop. Lucky they're quite a light animal, so the impact on the ground wouldn't necessarily splatter them.
Yeah, but still kill them most likely.
See you, Mooney. By the way, I did all the email stuff and forgot to say bye.
Brian says it was 1.0 to 1.5 on the Richter scale. So it wasn't a real big one.
Still felt it though. I've found this very interesting paragraph in the article that says the blood results that we have found indicate levels of muscle enzymes are increased and liver and kidney enzymes. So that tends to indicate it's some sort of body insult. A body insult.
A body insult, huh?
Must look up other meanings for the word insult. Maybe it's when the body attacks itself.
Yeah, it could have a lot of different meanings. Like my first thought would be like something hitting it, but that wouldn't make sense in that context. So
That is a medicinal term, an event which causes damage to a tissue or organ. The movement of the bone causes a severe tissue insult, was one of their uses. Use it in a sentence. Interesting. We've all learned something here today.
Yep. James says add insult to injury. That works.
I like it. Well done, you. Very happy with a solid play on words, and I like it. Oh, I bet you that's where the saying comes from. God, I'm a bit slow after a joint. Sorry.
I'm probably going to have to go in a sec because I have promised to take Soren to the creek. I said after the stream and before we make dinner. I promise I will take you for a
That sounds
swim.
like fun. That sounds like a good idea in that heat.
Yeah.
And I
Well, they're
promise-
all out there. I'm the only one in here taking expensive refuge.
Yeah. And I was thinking I'd like close the stream down pretty soon anyway because there's not a lot of people in here and I don't want to run out of StreamYard hours before my time.
Probably a good time then while I'm getting cold inside anyway.
You
But if
get
you're going to close it, I might wave to everyone and say goodbye and go and
Yep.
check. And
We'll say good night to everybody. And thanks everybody that came in and hung out with us. And thank you, Sarah. It was wonderful seeing you.
Good to see you,
Thanks
Scungy.
for having me.
And thanks, Blackie. And good night, everybody.
Don't tease me about wearing the same shirt 2 days in a row.